So guys, my Twitter this morning really started going like crazy. Like my phone was vibrating so much. I was at the doctor's office for a checkup on Logan, and I had to seriously quiet my phone because it kept vibrating and making noises. And I looked down, and that's because we got a headset solution released to the public through Twitter by Ori for the Switch, and I think it has a lot of people really confused at this point, including myself looking at it. Now, the first thing I want to say is the headset itself I think looks fine. I actually like the behind the neck setup for the band. I prefer that over going over my head because I always get indents in my hair from that if you wear it for extended periods of time. And I like the look of it. It looks good. It's padded. Seems to go over ear, and it looks fine that way. But then you get to the point where the cables run down, because we've been trying to figure out how are they going to do this thing where you have a voice app on your phone apparently, but then you also need to plug into the system for sound. And we unfortunately got met with something that looks kind of archaic at this point from Ori, and I assume this is just what they had to go on. This is what they could do. So we see here, guys, this is the diagram, and it's pretty straightforward. The headset runs to a box, which then splits the signal between microphone and what they say game sound. So it's going to take sound from your system, the Switch, and your voice from your cell phone, and then run it up into your headset, and then of course your microphone. And that's interesting. Now, the cables here have those squiggly lines that indicate that there is more slack for that cable that's not shown in the picture. They have to cut that off, obviously, to all fit it in a diagram. They're not going to show a coiled up cable. Although I've seen some reports, on Kotaku, for example, where it says the cable is 20 inches long or something like that, running from the box to either your phone or the device, the Switch. And that's kind of small, I guess, but really that doesn't matter as long as the cable is long enough for your head so that it reaches down up to there. And it's a little odd because that means if it's not very long, your phone would stay next to your Switch. I guess this is in handheld mode. I'm not really sure. They didn't even display how this would work, say, on TV mode. I assume it would still plug in mostly the same way if you want to get everything through the headset. But this is very odd. A lot of people are now saying that the Switch is not powerful enough to do voice chat. That's just not correct. The Switch can do native voice chat. It's just for some reason Nintendo has decided to forego that completely, and I'm not really sure why. For example, the original Xbox had 64 megabytes of RAM, and it had a Pentium 3 processor and was able to do things like run Halo 2, which at the time was extremely graphically demanding, and still run full voice chat. I mean, serious voice chat. I mean, there's several people in the room at once, and they even got to the point where if you're close enough to people, you could hear them, and it's interesting that this cannot do that. And then, of course, 360 had some pretty good voice chat overall, and that had 512 megabytes of RAM, and really it's weird. It's just some decision that Nintendo seems to be making here for the app to be the way you use your voice chat. And I think that's just kind of put Ori in a weird spot where they have to split the signal so that you can talk through your phone, but that you can still hear sound through the Switch. And this is probably going to turn a lot of people off from using this on the Switch for a couple reasons. One, you need a smartphone. I know probably 2 or 3 Nintendo fans in real life that just do not have smartphones. They're just not interested. They have flip phones. They don't care about smartphones. And this might actually, if they want to use voice chat through the Switch, through their app, then they might have to go that way. The other thing I was thinking was, we don't know anything about this app, right, for the phone. Now, do we know at this point if we have to pay for the app through the marketplace, like through Android or iOS's marketplace, or do we pay for it on the Switch system? Because if that's the case, that might be a way to get you to have to download this app on a smartphone, and it's weird. You have to pay your subscription through that, you pay through the Switch. We just don't know anything right now, and that's why I don't like this setup that we see here, but I also want to know a little more about this app and the way this whole thing is even going to work, because we know nothing about it right now. What we are seeing right now is not good. That is a very archaic, very clunky looking setup to do this when it should be native straight up through the Switch. No reason not to, unless they just want to try to keep it so kids are not on there because you need to own a smartphone, although I know a lot of 8 to 9-year-old kids that have smartphones right now. And I don't know. You know what, guys? Why don't you talk about it in the comments below as well? Let's just try to keep it constructive and try to figure out what's going on here, because this is just weird. This is a bad decision, I think, on Nintendo's part to do this, although a lot of people probably will just use Discord or Skype or something else, but this would keep you, I think, from coming across people in the game, maybe making friends in-game and have them as part of your team. It's so weird. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though, down below. I'm very curious, and I will see you next time.